Hello, welcome to the Spider's Web. In this video we're going to be painting these two tables, desks, whatever you want to call them, from Mantic's Star Saga. As you can see, we have colours on the palettes, and these colours are the ones we've been using in the last two videos that I've only just literally finished filming. So there will be, I'm going to do all these together and upload them, and then go on to the next part, which are cabinets. But as I said, to start off, we're doing these ones, and then we're going to stick with paints that we've already mixed. So the turquoise one that we mixed originally, we're going to add a little more of the silver colour to it, spot of water, there we are, and that is going to be for these legs. And we're going to do the majority of these looking exactly the same, but there will be some whatchamacallit, there will be some differences later on. We're not going to do them all, and we're not going to do both of them exactly the same. We're going to be making one different to the other. So we'll just paint these legs. We are going to be adding some more colours to this particular video, or for this particular project. I know I mixed white in the previous one, but I didn't like the way that was going on. I forgot I usually put something underneath that and use the white as the very final step. So I'm going to do that again for this particular video, and I'm going to have to get a proper white because that one is not particularly helpful for videoing, unfortunately. So we'll just, I'm saying not particularly helpful for videoing. It's not particularly helpful for painting because it doesn't seem to go on terribly well with a brush, with it being an herb paint. It's specially designed for going into an herb brush. I picked up the wrong one. My own blooming fault. I was in a rush. I think I bought it just as the herb colours came out, and I didn't know they'd released them. I just picked them up. And he didn't actually query this when I was at the till, so as far as I remember, otherwise I'd have said no. But well, so that's those two done. The next colour we're going to be using is a new colour for this one, if I can find it, that is, and that colour is Abaddon Black. So add some of this to our palette. We don't need a great deal because it's not going to be used for much. Just get a little bit of water mixed into it just to get it a little bit more fluid. Nice, and this is just going to be used for these lumpy bits on the end of the legs. That's a technical term, lumpy bits. Oops. Oh. There we are. And we'll do the bottom one as well. Yeah, so I'm going to be using this one for, it's not a big colour that I want to use much in the terrain part of this. I'll probably use it more when we come to make, or come to paint the characters, but we'll see how we go. I may actually use it a little more in some cases than others, but I doubt that. Okay, if that's, I'm gonna just blap it on. I'm trying not to blap it on with these parts because I'm not sure how the colour that I'm going to be putting on is going to cover it. Hopefully it does a better job than the white, but you never know. I missed a bit there, just at the top of the ump bit where it goes around to go to the main leg. Now, as you can understand, you really want to make sure that this part, more so than the top, is actually covered, because these are the bits you're going to see. You're not going to see the one at the top, so try your best to get it all covered. Obviously I've made it clear that I'm not going to be doing much in the line of cleaning up these particular pieces because of the way they are. They're not straight or anything, so I'm still trying to get my thoughts into gear for this. Yeah, I'm still trying to do as best as I can with them. You know, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm not going to make any shortcuts. It's not going to be a case of, oh, I've missed a bit there, never mind, doesn't matter. If I've missed a bit, it does matter. But I'm just not going overboard with the cleaning it up, and getting rid of all the mould lines and all the bits that shouldn't be there. Alright, so that's that bit done. Next, I'm going to choose another colour. This time it's in place of white and it's spaceship exterior. Again, this is a Army Painter paint, so therefore it needs a damn good shake. So I'll finish shaking it. I can put a little bit onto the palette, and then we'll get some of the silver and incorporate that into the main colour. And to be brutally honest with you, I've not got enough silver. What I should have done was just put a little bit in. I misjudged that completely. Oh dear. So I'll get a bit more silver out of the pot and mix it in. It's looking more and more grey now. There we are. And that, once again, is going to have a bit of water mixed into it just to make it flow a lot easier. And we'll take it all along with the top. Sorry, not the top, the bottom of the top. I'll rephrase that. The underside of the tabletop is what we will paint this. Okay, so that's the white bit done, hopefully. I'm hoping I don't have to go back and do anything else with it. I will do. That is irritating. That's not quite dry the way I want it, but never mind. Okay, so we're going to first off use another colour that I haven't used on these yet, which is rough iron. I do particularly like this one. I'm using the rough iron as a bit of a base coat for oh dear Lord, right, there you are. I'm getting a thin brush at the moment because I don't want to run the risk of this going everywhere, and we're doing the rough iron on the hinges of this door. I may, as yet, I'm not 100% certain, but I may try and leave it like this. So we're coming to the end of this particular part. What we need to do next is give it a chance to dry, and while that's happening we can paint the coloured panels that we want to paint over the white, the blue and the orange. So we'll be going over, now we're changing brushes again, I'm going over to the bigger brush. In fact, I don't want that brush, it's too big for what I want, so I'll use this one. I'll just give it a bit of a clean out. And I'm going into the blue first of all. Again, it's the Calidor Sky blue mixed with the silver. And it's going to go in here. And surprisingly enough, when we come around to doing the orange, that's going to be in the same place. So I'm going to paint the three panels here at the back with the colour that I want them to. I don't know why I decided to do it like this. I just like the look of the doors. I thought it might be an interesting effect having the different colours. And I think I started off doing them blue and red because the tiles, I've just realised, in the game have blue and red markings on them, so I think that's why I did the doors blue and red. Now I think about it. So that's those done. And I've still got loads of this blue. Oh, well, never mind. So keep popping into the blue and getting and topping up the brush colour, because it's not behaving as it should do. But then again, saying that, it's going on thin, and that it will give a better look to it, because thin coats are better than thick coats. But it's only in summer, obviously. So that's the blue table done, and now we want the orange table. We've not much of this orange left. Hopefully we've got enough to do the job. Okay, I'll pop that in there. And I think I might mix up some more orange, to be honest. I think I might actually pop a little bit of red into it as well. So Get some orange there. And I'm going to just pop a little bit of Evil Sun Scarlet in this red, in this orange. Not much, just to make it a little bit darker. In fact, it swamped out the orange. Let me just add more orange into it. This is one of those things you'll find when you come to mix paints, that some paints are much more pigmented than others. It's true in the case of red and orange. The orange is much less pigmented than the red, so you don't need as much. But I want to grey it all down. With this silver. That looks nice. That looks the kind of orange I want. There we are. See how that goes. I may need to come back to it as it's dried. But acrylics has a tendency of flattening out when it's dried, so don't worry if it looks a bit iffy at the moment. Next, we're going to use the wash. And the wash we're going to be using is Agrex Earthshade. Now, we're not going to be using this everywhere. Don't panic. We're just using a little bit of this, and it's going solely on these papers. We're not using a great deal. I was going to use this to make some rings. And the paint like a, what do you call it? Right, I'm not going to attempt doing that. I might have to, because I've done it on one. It'll look odd if I don't do it on the other. Oops, sorry, I've gone off camera. What I'm talking about then was these little grooves